Hey, what's up guys? My main deck in Clash Royale just evolved. Without using any of the evolutions, it became massively better in the meta. It earned its spot at rank 1 in the world multiple times this season, destroying all the Royale Giant and Firecracker decks that are absolutely everywhere. Adding the Inferno Dragon to Royale recruits allows you to easily melt Royale Giant evolutions. When the Royale Giant's stomping and knocking things back, it's going to be throwing a temper tantrum because it can't knock away the Inferno Dragon. While the arrows fire all the regular Firecrackers and the Fireball deletes all the evolved ones. Usually Inferno Dragons are scared of Zappies and Electro Dragon, but Arrows and Fireball eliminates Electro Dragons and Fireball crushes Zappies. Starting slow and methodical pushes with Zappies in the back and Royal recruits at the river has never felt so strong. And I can't imagine how good this deck's gonna get when it actually gets an evolution. After adding a new recruit to our team, it's time to melt some dreams and assert dominance. Lots of love to everyone that's using Credit Code SirTag to make all of the daily videos possible. Hey, we got a game against Andy Bolt. So hopefully he rushes through and, has a lightning bolt in his name and just spams everything he's got at the river. Right into Royal recruits, Inferno Dragon, and also a Goblin Cage. Would generously give us a huge win, but he's not going to do that. So in that regard, we're going to go in for a Fly Machine in the back, and we'll see what he's up to. So generally, cycling Fly Machines is not necessarily the best idea with this deck compared to cycling Zappies. But since we've got Inferno Dragon, we have ample anti-air answers. So it doesn't necessarily matter if we cycle that as much as it would matter in previous versions of this deck. Like with Golden Knight and then also Mighty Miner, you don't really want to be cycling your Fly Machines and be like, well, I don't have Zappies in cycle and you could bombard me with a balloon. It's a horrible feeling then. So I'm going to go for Royal Hogs on the right-hand side since we know that our Goblin Cage Brawler, our Shrek, is thick and he is super slick. He's actually going to be able to force out a Lumberjack and do a lot of damage to the tower. Wait, if I arrows here, can I kill the Lumberjack on his side of the map so he can't rage up his balloon or whatever else he wants to drop? I think that's worth it. I could go recruits, but I expect my opponent to probably end up having Lumberjack Balloon freeze. So I don't want to go into a bowler with recruits. It just feels like a miserable interaction. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like losing 7 elixir. I'm okay losing 4, but 7, we're going to stop it right there. So we're going to Fireball directly on top of the Baby Dragon to finish it off to make sure we can get some extra damage. Wow, that was a very interesting balloon, sir. Emphasis on the int. He completely inted into an Inferno Dragon, allowing me to go in for Royal Hogs as well. And I bet you he has to go Bowler and Electro Dragon, right? Because the Bowler is able to go and counter the Hogs, whereas the Electro Dragon counters the Inferno Dragon, but he can't muster up enough elixir. So he's going to lose the Bowler and be forced to drop a Barb Barrel afterward. Dude, I wonder if the Inferno Dragon's going to lock on the tower. Oh, seriously? It followed it that far back when it was on top of the tower? I've never seen that happen for me. Usually when Inferno Dragons bypass halfway through the river and the tower, and they're near the tower, they stay near the tower instead of wandering all the way back. That is crazy luck for him, I would say. Just because I've never seen that interaction work for me in my favor. That's why I always kite it back using the miners or whatever units at the river to pull the Inferno Dragon back where the Inferno Dragon is for our opponent right there. That's where I pull it back. I'm not going to get near my tower. Anyway, we're going to try to go in for Inferno Dragons in the back here, straight into his bowler again. And we can Fireball and arrows on top of his Electro Dragon. It's going to be hilarious if he decides to do that. Wait, no, he's going to have Baby Dragon. You won't even have Electro Dragon in the deck, right? Yeah, a lot of times people will have Electro Dragon or Baby Dragon, so you can't fit them both in the same deck. I did forget about that. All right, we're going to go for Royal Hogs because he just uses Tornado, and then that means I can go in for, I don't know, nothing else really. I don't need to. I can just consistently spam more flying cards. That's the awesome thing about this deck is most people have adapted to beat the regular version, but when you switch it up, it throws a wrench in their plans, and then they're like, wait, what am I supposed to do? I can't kill this air supremacy that he has in this deck. So we're going to go in for Royal Hogs again, and I think that we're able to win against the Baby Dragon. If the Fly Machine stays alive, yes, that's a GG. There is nothing he can do to me, and it's beautiful. Watching the Fly Machine stay alive at 1 health to ruin your opponent's chances of winning. The piggies that finagled their way in front to tank for the 1 health Fly Machine were definitely the heroes of the match. After popping our opponent's Lumberjack balloon pushes, we're at 4,700 in the world. Yo, we're matching into someone with a Mega Knight banner, and he's a part of the Ice Cream Clan. Well, I'm going to be screaming my way away from that Mega Knight real quick, bro. Don't mind if I don't drop my Royal Hogs. So he's going to Zap, definitely going to be a Mega Knight deck, right? Whenever you see Zap, very rarely is that going to be in the meta over Log or Rage or anything else. Wait, what? Zap and Fireball. Okay. Maybe he is cooking something different. We're going to go for Zappies in the back instead of dropping our Royal Hogs because I don't trust him. Anyone that is suspicious, I will not be spamming my Royal Hogs into. I'll drop my Royal Recruits because at least they'll deal damage to the Mega Knight and they'll slow down the Mega Knight for a while. The big push with this deck, I'll say it again, Royal Recruits at the river after dropping your Zappies in the back. It just gives you a much better setup for your push. So we're getting a ton of damage on the right-hand side, and that's more damage than the Royal Hogs would ever accomplish by themselves. That's the reason that I like doing that type of play. Up 1,200 damage already. Let's go, baby. And the Dark Prince is out of cycle. Maybe I can meander our way through with one Royal Hog. Oh, okay. Wait. Watch this little piggy power in the left. It's going to be tanking so the Prince doesn't maul our Goblin Cage. Allowing our Goblin Cage to stay alive just long enough for us to get zappies down against the Prince, please. Please? Yes! Perfect defense. Maybe not. Maybe not perfect. Maybe not perfect. I think I spoke too soon. That thing, yeah, that's going to maul me. One Prince charge does that amount of damage. That's ridiculous. That's actually nutty. He devastated 1,100 health with a Fireball and Prince charge. Ugh. Disgusting, man. So if we decide to go in for an Inferno Dragon, he's likely going to go in for a zap. So I want a Fireball so then the bats don't ruin me. Because if he zaps and uses the bats, then it retargets on the bats instead of the Goblin Cage. Or not the Goblin Cage, the Goblin Giant. There's too many goblins in this game. And then I would lose the game. So it's super important to realize, hey, those bats, while they might not seem very menacing because the Inferno Dragon's locking onto what we want, there's a high chance that they're not going to stay locked onto what we want. So I guess we can go in for recruits at the river. I dislike doing this, but I think it only hits one of the recruits. So the Dark Prince is really not giving him any value. This guy's got Musketeer. Oh, this is interesting. This is actually significantly more interesting than I thought it would be. So I'm going to go in for an Inferno Dragon, but I'm going to drop it off sides a little bit so he can't Fireball in the Goblin Cage and also the Inferno Dragon at the same time. And then we'll see what he decides to do, because if he just wants to spam stuff into a Fireball, like, I'm down for that, bro. I'm down for that. We're down to devour. We've got the power. Okay, I'm going to go and split zappies. I'm going to split the majority of them in the left-hand side because that's where I think he's going to be spamming. And I also want him to Fireball the zappies, to be honest. It'd be fun for him to Fireball the zappies because I can go recruits and then I can go for fly machines and feel really comfortable about my position then. Majority of the recruits are going to be enlisting their defensive services in the left-hand side. And then we've got the Goblin Cage, the thick boy as well. And we should be able to Fireball on the Dark Prince and the Musketeer. I think there's a Sublime Fireball. Hitting the hull of the Dark Prince is nice. The Dark Prince being out of cycle means that he's going to have to Fireball on top of the piggies. So I should be okay going for Royal Hogs right now. And then even Fly Machine depending on what happens. Oh, please, Fly Machine, do the work. Do the work. Locking onto the Musketeer and living up to the name of the 1 HP hero, please. No, it doesn't survive. If it survived against the Musketeer and then got a shot, that would be hilarious. If you guys didn't know, the Fly Machine hits the tower faster than the tower hits it. So it'll always get a hit, even if it's at 1 HP. All right, we're going to go in for a Fireball here as well. And then I think we can just overwhelm our opponent with arrows and then break through with our Zappy and get a hit, maybe? I don't know anymore. Let's just go Royal Hogs. He can't stop that. Even if he Fireballs, he's got to go Fireball plus Zap, and that just costs too much Elixir. I'm going to go Zappies here, and I just need one little piggy touch, and we walk with a W. GG, well played, and peace out, sir. It was a pleasure making the ice cream players scream as the piggies ran away with the win. Hey, and now we're 4,234 in the world. I love that it goes 4, 2, 3, 4. Yo, this guy finished 812 in the world. Let's go. We were playing against good players all day today, right? Sheesh. All right, so I want to go in for Royal Hogs if he spams anything in the back, but if he doesn't do that, I can go for recruits. I can also go Goblin Cage. Because I've got Inferno Dragon, I think I'm predisposed to dropping Goblin Cage a lot more frequently than I typically would, and we'll see what he's going to do. And the reason why Inferno Dragon keeps me safe is if he goes in for a tank, I'm still able to crush it without needing my building as much. This guy's going to have Fireball, Skeleton Army, and then also Bats. Is this going to be Lava Hound, or is this going to be something else? It could also be a really wacky and weird, like, Golem or Graveyard Giant deck. Oh, it's Sparky. Well, the best thing is the Fireball's out of cycle. He also doesn't end up having his Bats or his Skeleton Army for cheap defenses, so the man has to go for a Mini P.E.K.K.A, which is a pretty big commitment of Elixir. Also, no Fireball means that I can go for my Zappies and be okay here. Notice that the Zappies are in a little bit of a line, so they're going to stun the Mini P.E.K.K.A at different times, so the Mini P.E.K.K.A might not even get a single shot if I play that correctly. I'm going to go Goblin Cage so the Sparky wastes his blast. I think that he's going to lose his Sparky without it even doing any damage to my actual units. The cage, the prison, it helps us out, you know? The Goblin Cage wanted to get out of the prison, man. All right, I could arrows, but then he's just going to go Bats. So there's no real reason for me to spend 3 Elixir just to get countered by 2 Elixir, right? That's a -1 trade, and I'm not about that life. In fact, it's better for me to savor the situation where I can use my arrows and drop that on the Bats when he's trying to counter the Flying Machine when he thinks he's got it countered, and then my Flying Machine stays alive, and it's like, ah, that sucks for you, bro. That's kind of what we're hoping for. So The recruits in the back end of the Sparky, probably not necessarily the best play for me, but we'll see what we can do. I'm not going to go in for anything else. I'm just going to go and cycle my fly machine on the right-hand side. I wonder if we can get damage. The recruit might have given us something on the right. Hard to say. All right, we're going to go in for zappies, and then we're going to go in for a Goblin Cage again with our Inferno Dragon because the bats are out of cycle, and we can just soak up a Sparky shot for free, so not too bad for me. Always fun to watch the mini packages adventure towards the zappies and be like, wait, I feel useless. So he has no elixir left over. Sure, he got a little bit of damage with the fireball on our tower, but he has nothing, so he loses. And that's the reason I love this deck. Having the air superiority with the Inferno Dragon and the Fly Machine, again, it's just something that people aren't used to. So they overcommit so hard into it, and then it's the easiest win for you ever. Even against a top ladder player like this guy. 800 in the world, so easy to beat. I'm going to go in for a fireball, and this guy's going to taste defeat. Because I can go in for the Goblin Cage afterward and make sure the Goblin Cage Brawler is just chilling, vibing, relaxing, and Shrek is pounding down the Giant too. Well, we collect a Giant W. I can go for Royal Hogs just to flex on him and make him play defense instead of going on for offense so he knows that he's not even allowed in our territory. We're blocking the river, and you better sit there shivering with your units because you're just in the cold. Never invited to the warmth of our home. We've got a game against Mad Grit from the Mad Lads clan. Let's see if he's going to be angry and furious after he figures out our deck, or if he's going to have the grit to stick it out. Okay, unfortunately, I am not in a situation where I like it. I'm in a tough and sticky spot with our opponent going for a Hog Rider when I don't have my Zappies to stun it, and also, I don't have my Goblin Cage, my favorite card in this matchup. So I'm going to go in for a Fireball. Typically, I love playing against people that end up having Firecracker, but this guy doesn't have it. I can't arrows it away. Instead, we're stuck in a situation of dismay as the Hog Rider and Musketeer keep rolling in my face. So, looking at the game real quick, it's going to be hard for me to win this, but I believe I can persevere and walk away with a W if I play perfect. So generally in this type of matchup, we want to stack up a lot of air cards that are going to be problematic for him. Because if we notice, he's going to have Earthquake, right? Earthquake, it does great against my recruits. Super solid against our Zappies because Zappies die to the Earthquake plus Log. And it's just difficult all around for me to find damage into someone that's got this type of deck. But if we can stack up enough air cards and his Musketeer ends up dying to them, then maybe we can walk with a W. So I can also go in for like a Fly Machine and go and snipe the Mortar. I don't necessarily know if this is the best play, but I'm hoping he goes in for a bad Musketeer and we can go for Hogs and then tank for the Musketeer. So then the Fly Machine can lock onto the Muskie. Maybe this is really dumb. I just want it to work, okay? I have simple needs out here. The recruits on the left-hand side are putting in some work. We could Fireball on the Musketeer. I don't know if that's going to be worth it. I don't want to overcommit. That's the main thing for me, is not playing too stupidly right now. We can also go in for a Goblin Cage right in the middle, and that's able to body block the Hog Rider and fully shut it down if he doesn't have anything else with it. But unfortunately, I think this guy is going to be dropping things with his Hog Riders. I think he's smart enough to always make sure that he's logging the Goblin Cage or dropping an Ice Spirit or something else. I don't think I'll be able to get to show you guys the awesome interaction that we're hoping for. Maybe we do. I don't know. We're going to go for Zappies here, and hopefully we can split them so then the Mortar doesn't lock onto all of them. Oh, come on. That's terrible for me. That was actually awful. It didn't feel right, man. That hurt me. All right, so the Musketeer should eventually end up dying. Okay, Fly Machine, you're smart. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was hoping for. That's what we needed. Now we can go for Royal Hogs on the right-hand side. Lose the Musketeer to the Fly Machine again. Please? Please? Come on. Please, give me the cheese. Oh, he's just proliferating skeletons out here. Miss me with that. Please, let me win this. I want it so bad. All right, I want to just not spend any extra elixir because the Inferno Dragon should fulfill the bill. Let's go, baby! He doesn't have the grit to stick it out. He is going to be out of this game real quick. He's going to miss the Earthquake as well, and I think we walk with a dub. Let's go! Even into someone that's going to have a Hog Rider Earthquake fast cycle deck with the Evolved Skeletons, which is an evolution that this deck is not built to counter as much as the other ones, we still walk away with a dominant dub. GG and well played, and we'll continue to evolve our strength to power up the ranks. After that marvelous interaction where Inferno Dragon melted his tower, we have pushed up the ranks to 3,200 in the world. Yo, we got a game against Flo. What's up, brother? So we're dropping a good luck here and seeing what he's cooking. Definitely want to be playing pretty aggressive if he gives us any opportunity. But at the start of the match, you guys know the deal. We play passive. We wait, and we find our opportunity to pounce. This guy's not happy. He's giving us the eye. He's giving me the angry eye right now. I see you. I see you, sir. I'm not going to showcase my Inferno Dragon because he's going to expect Royal Hogs, Royal Recruits, right? But he's not going to be expecting the Inferno Drag. When I cycle both of my anti-air cards and maybe goes Balloon on the other side directly into the Inferno Dragon, he's going to get cooked. So we're going to Royal Hogs real quick because we know that he's going to have to respond with a tornado. And it's not necessarily going to be easy for him to defend this. He's going to go in for a lumberjack and a tornado. Oh, wow. You know what? I think I could activate King Tower, but I don't think it's worth. I think it's better to go recruits when the bowler's out of sight. So we're going to go for our recruits. He misses with the bar barrel. Awesome stuff. I'm so happy I delayed that. What is he going to do? Because he doesn't have a good card cycle right now. He actually is going to go for another bowler. Awesome. So the last time, he decided to go in for the tornado and pulled everything back. Are we just beating up on Lumberjack Balloon Freeze today? Is that what the meta is? Because people love running Inferno Dragon to go and counter all the Royal Giant evolved form. So of course they're going to be running like Inferno Dragon with Balloon Freeze or other type of cards. So it makes sense that this guy's running it, honestly. All right, what do we do? He's going to lose the Inferno Dragon for sure into our zappies. Here's the difference between the first person that we played against. The first dude that we played into, he ended up having Baby Dragon, which was significantly easier. This guy, he's going to be packing Electro Dragon. So what I want to do is I want to let the Lumberjack just die, and I want to pull back the Inferno Dragon utilizing our Royal Hogs. We want to make sure that it's closer to the river, so then we don't have to worry about it for a while. Dude, he has to go Electro Dragon on top of the Flying Machine and Inferno Dragon to reset it. This is massive value. We are flowing through with an endless amount of swarm, and this guy is probably not having a good time. Not gonna lie. Let's go recruits at the river again. Even though we know that the bar barrel would die to our tower, we want to expedite our push and force out the bowler earlier on. So then the bowler dies to the Flying Machine, and we constantly get good trades. Also, if you didn't know, you can fireball on top of the Electro Dragon and then arrows it, and it dies. That's another cool trick that you can do. It's going to be a negative trade, but generally going to be worth it. I could fireball here on the Inferno Dragon, and I don't think that's a bad choice. Oh! Oh! Really? You're going to avoid death like that, Electro Dragon? You coward. How could you? All right, so we're fine. We're just going to let the Inferno Dragon do its thing. We'll go zappies afterward, and then if we pull the Electro Dragon to the other side, he can't even reset the Inferno Dragon, so that's huge. I love that we baited him that hard. Look at the dumb Electro Dragon wandering around the map being like, where am I supposed to go? Am I supposed to target an Inferno Dragon or just follow a Goblin Cage Baller? They're both green to me. Isn't that funny? Like, they followed the green thing, but the wrong green thing, and it didn't target the Inferno Dragon. The Flying Frog stayed alive, and our opponent definitely didn't. And after our opponent's units disobeyed him, he started yawning every second, becoming supremely salty. And you gotta love beating Bowler Balloon Freeze with the power of the pigs. Having the extra layer of anti-air defense with the Inferno Dragon ensured our dominance, making our opponent's Lumberjack rage flow into his real life, giving him absolute anger. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more daily videos, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.